All over Bastrop County, victims of September's wildfires are struggling with how to deal with the loss of their homes.
But one man came up with a pretty unique way of replacing his destroyed home. And tonight, Jim Swift tells us that in the process, a historic treasure will be spared the proverbial wrecking ball.
All right, I'm back on my place.
After being ordered to evacuate his 5-acre farm near Paige in Bastrop County, Robert Kraft snuck back home to check on the cat he had to leave behind.
My place is still standing, but there's a fire on my property. I better go fight it.
Kraft defended his house and barn with a garden hose for 12 hours before finally giving up. When he next returned to the property, it was all gone.
This is my house. This is all that's left of my possessions.
It's like, well, you fought and you got beat. It was a fair fight. And now what do you do?
We have canceled checks that we found in the house from 1918.
Meanwhile, Suzanne and Barry Sharp had been slowly emptying out a nearly 100-year-old house in Mexia. Barry's mother, Benita Brown Sharp, had grown up in that house with her great-aunt Mattie Victoria Brown Crouch. And someone in the family had stayed there off and on until 2005.
She had a lot of flower beds and a ton of bulbs and such in there. She made a big oval ring and put pieces of glass into it to give it color. Because she really loved having the color, she loved the flowers. To me, it's such a cool structure.
But the Sharps reluctantly began to consider demolishing the old family home. So they approached Mike Draper, an Oak Hill area wood recycling expert, to give them a bid on their home's rare longleaf pine floors. Draper took one look at the place and urged the Sharps to reconsider.
It basically hadn't been touched for 100 years, almost 100 years. And it needed to be saved.
So Draper, who knew about Kraft's problems in Bastrop County, suggested he buy the house from the Sharps and move it to his land near Paige. Everybody jumped at the idea.
It costs less to do this than it does to build from scratch. To build from the ground up would cost me 3 times what it's costing to buy this house and move it.
We'll get to see it when it's finished and see how it's loved now and lived in.
The move will take place in the next couple of weeks, and Kraft plans to move in within 6 months. Jim Swift, KXAN News.
Wonderful. Well, by the way, Robert Kraft posted that full video about his fight to save his house on YouTube. Makes for some pretty interesting viewing, and you can find that link to it on our website. Just check out this story in the Bastrop County headlines section at KXAN.com.